Not only are the Roman gods remembered in history, but the canon of Roman goddesses is as significant since they are equally potent and well-liked as their male counterparts. They do represent feminine power at its finest. Many of Rome's religious rites heavily rely on mythological tales of the gods. There was a lot of spirituality in ancient Rome, but we tend to hear more about the male deities than the feminine ones. So the moment has come for you to add some knowledge of the Roman goddesses to your knowledge bank. You will undoubtedly be charmed by their divine essence, power, and beauty. These are the top 10 Roman goddesses. Number 10. Juno. Juno, the Roman version of Hera, the Greek queen of the goddesses, is revered as the state's advisor and defender. Juno, a Saturnian deity, is Jupiter's wife and sister as well as the ruler of the gods. She is the mother of Mars, the god of fire and war. Juno, who is also the deity of union and childbirth, links the concepts of vitality, energy, and ever-youthful youth. She was referred to as Regina, or Queen, and was one of the Capitolina triad in Rome, which also included Jupiter and Minerva. She served as the patron goddess of the Roman Empire. Juno is a regal figure with a diadem on her head. She is frequently depicted sitting with a peacock, which serves as her primary symbol. She has a warlike appearance because of her traditional appearance. She is also referred to as Juno Moneta and is viewed as managing the Roman Empire's money. She also inspired the name of the month of June. She has a lot of notable and unique epithets, designations, and titles that all have distinct connotations because her theology is among the most complicated. Number 9. Minerva. The goddess of intelligence, business, poetry, craftsmanship, and even tactical battle is known as Minerva. Minerva was a character in Ovid's Metamorphoses because of her artistic abilities. Since the 2nd century BC, Athena, the Greek goddess, has been compared to Minerva. Jupiter remembered the prophecy that his child would overthrow him after becoming pregnant with Metis. He swallowed Metis out of concern that she would one day outshine him in strength, and before Minerva was born, it is reported that she gave Jupiter a continual headache from within. With a hammer, Vulcan cracked Jupiter's head open, releasing Minerva as an adult with full armor and weapons. Minerva was often referred to as Minerva Medica, which is Latin for goddess of medicine and doctors. She appeared on the reverse of coins issued by numerous emperors. She frequently appears with an owl and a spear in her hands. Number 8. Flora. Because of her connection to spring and her representation of the beauty of flowers and nature, Flora was a significant Roman goddess. She is associated with both burgeoning youth and the season of renewal. She has a Greek equivalent named Chloris. The Latin word flos, which means flower, is where Flora's name comes from. The Floralia festival, which took place between April 28th and May 3rd, was a way for the Romans to commemorate the regeneration of the cycle of life, flowers, and drinking. It was originally observed around 240 BC. The Rose Festival, which bears her name, was held on May 23rd. Flora also rose to prominence among Renaissance humanists, but it stated that she didn't like having such a strong reputation. Number 7. Vesta. Similar to Hestia in the Greek pantheon, Vesta was rarely shown in human form. Instead, the fire in her temples served as a representation. Her temples were only accessible to the priestesses, known as Vestas, and legend has it that her devotees were capable of experiencing miraculous conception. She was the sister of Jupiter, Neptune, Juno, Pluto, and Ceres, and the daughter of Saturn and Ops. Lavinium, the first Trojan colony, is where her adoration initially emerged. She was renowned for both her virginity and purity, and she was also the mother who bestowed fertility. She is frequently contradictorily linked to the phallus despite her innocence. She shares a continual fire with the ground according to Ovid, who claimed that they are identical. Number 6. Venus. The mother of Cupid and Aeneas is Venus, one of the major Roman deities. The story and symbolism of her Greek counterpart Aphrodite were adopted by the Romans. Venus has been referred to as the most inventive invention in the Roman pantheon, embodying sex, charm, and appeal. According to legend, she ingested the masculine essence, resulting in the union of the sexes and their mutual love. Mars and Vulcan are her antipodes. She is viewed as a symbol of water who keeps life in balance. In Roman mythology, Venus is of highest significance, and her devotees observed numerous festivals all year long. On April 1st, a festival known as Veneralia was held in honor of Fortuna Virilis, the goddess of luck, and Venus, also known as Venus Verticordia, the changer of hearts. The following day, April 23rd, was Venalia Urbana, a wine celebration honoring both Venus and Jupiter. Then, on August 19th, there was Venalia Rustica. Originally, this was a simple harvest festival in rural Latin, honoring wine, food, and fertility. Number 5. Ceres. The Greek goddess Demeter is the equivalent of Ceres' love of and service to humanity. She taught people how to cultivate themselves as well as crops as the goddess of horticulture. She gave humanity the gift of agriculture. The only deity who interacted with common people on a daily basis was this kind goddess. She served as the guardian of womanhood, motherhood, and maidenhood. She had a dual connection with Jupiter, the deity of justice and order. They produced a daughter named Proserpina, through whom it is believed she lived her life, and she was both his sister and his wife. On Aventine Hill, one of the 7 hills in ancient Rome where her temple was located, Ceres was adored. The Ceralia, one of the Ceres-related holidays, was observed on April 19th. Ambivalia, an end-of-May Roman agricultural fertility ritual, was another particular time of year for the goddess of agriculture and fertility. Her inclusion among the Dii Consentes, the Roman counterpart of the 12 Olympians, their chief deities, makes her the only one of Rome's numerous agricultural goddesses to receive such honor. Number 4. Diana. Diana was able to talk with and even command animals thanks to her connection to forests and wildlife. She was widely worshipped in ancient Rome and had a high regard in Strygaria and Roman neo-paganism, among other paganisms. Along with Minerva and Vesta, she was one of 3 virgin deities and is closely related to woman and childbirth. She made the same vow to never get married as the other 2. She and her twin brother Apollo were both born on the island of Delos, the daughter of Jupiter and Latona. She represents the heavenly realm as a goddess because of her superiority, impassibility, and sovereignty. Her affinity for virginity, inaccessibility, light, and her inclination for residing in holy forests and high mountains are all manifestations of her celestial essence. She frequently appears with either hunting hounds or a deer, dressed in a short tunic and hunting boots, a quiver slung over her shoulder. She's also consistently portrayed as being young and attractive. She was regarded as a universal deity in Latin, and several temples were built to honor her. In honor of her, King Servius Tullius built a shrine on Aventine Hill. She has also been the topic of numerous plays and artistic works. Number 3. Salacia. According to the ancient author Varro, Salacia, a female deity who ruled over the oceans, was Neptune's wife. Neptune, the god of the sea, wished to wed her, but she had another man's heart and was able to escape when he made the marriage proposal. To keep her virginity, she hid in the Atlantic Ocean. Then Neptune dispatched one of his dolphins to convince her to return and become his queen. When Salacia ultimately agreed to the marriage proposal, Neptune was so overjoyed that he gave the dolphin its own spot in the heavens, which is now known as the constellation Delphinus. Salacia is shown as a lovely nymph with a seaweed headdress. She's either depicted sitting next to Neptune or riding alongside him in a colorful pearl-shell chariot pulled by seahorses and dolphins. The goddess of salt water is covered in nets and wears regal robes. She is the embodiment of serenity. Her name derives from the Latin word sal, which means salt, and alludes to the seas and oceans she governs. Number 2. Luna. The sun god Sol is thought of as having a feminine counterpart in Luna. The Roman triple goddess known as the Diva Triformis includes Luna, Proserpina, and Hecate. She's shown in Roman art as having a crescent and a chariot with 2 yokes. Varro distinguished the visible gods from Luna and Sol. She was one of the gods that the philosopher Macrobius suggested as Rome's covert defenders. Both Luna and Sol were perceived during the imperial age to reflect Roman dominance in their thriving religion, which was associated with tranquility and harmony. Her Greek equivalent, Selene, is the inspiration for many of the myths about Luna. The Great Fire of Rome, which occurred under Nero's rule, burned her temple on Aventine Hill, which was constructed in the 6th century BC. Number 1. Fortuna. The Romans revered Fortuna, the goddess of fortune, and believed that she might bring either good or ill luck. She is shown as blind and veiled, serving as both the goddess of destiny and justice. Fortuna is shown clutching a cornucopia, also known as a horn of plenty, in one hand, from which an abundance of all good things flowed. This side stood for her capacity to grant her followers success. The ship's rudder in her other hand symbolized her ability to influence fate. She was also depicted enthroned with the same qualities, but a wheel incorporated into the chair to symbolize fortune's ups and downs. That's it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it just as I enjoyed making it. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any of our great content. And as always, stay safe.